Are the Celtics in danger of being swept, Nate?
I think the right answer is they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be in danger of being swept. Gentlemen swept, maybe. I'll give them gentlemen swept because I do think, like I've mentioned before, and the data backs it up, the Celtics are a much better road team than they are a home team. But the thing I am nervous about is being down 0-2 during the Jayson Tatum, Jalen Brown era. Guess how many series wins they have while being down 2-0? 0. During this era of Jayson Tatum and Jalen Brown, this has happened twice. They were down 2-0 against Brooklyn. They got gentlemen swept. They were down 3-0 against the Heat. Everybody remembers that series, and they nearly came back if it wasn't for a Derek White 0.4 second rebound tip-in, and then Max Strus and Caleb Martin had a phenomenal Game 7, and the Heat ended up beating them in 7. But they are 0-2 when they're down 2-0 in a series. So that doesn't really bode very well for the Boston Celtics in winning the overall series. But I think that the way they operated Game 2 and Game 1, but I extrapolated some data from Game 2 where it's 10 of their offensive rebounds came on missed threes. That's an issue because it was take the 3, miss it, offensive rebound, back out for 3, miss it. And this was one of the opening sequences of the game. It was take a 3, miss, offensive rebound, back out for 3, miss, offensive rebound, back out for 3, miss. What are you doing? Drive the damn basketball already. But I can't say that because that would be not something that the Boston Celtics do. They shot 63s in Game 1. They only made 25% of them. Okay, well, now they only shot 43s. They still made 25% of them. So the way the Celtics operate, it's not great basketball. It's more so just, okay, how many threes are you going to get today? How many threes are you going to get? How many threes are you going to get? It's like Oprah Winfrey, but with 3-pointers. How many are you going to get in this one? Everybody takes their plethora of threes. Peyton Pritchard, Al Horford, Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derek White. They all want to take them. If Sam Hauser was out there, how many would he take? It's whoever can get their threes up, and Kristaps Porzingis if he's ever healthy again. So when it comes to the Boston Celtics, are they in danger of being swept? I have to say yes, because you're down 2-0. You just got swept at home. Now you're going to Madison Square Garden, and this might be the loudest Madison Square Garden that maybe in the history, because I was at Game 5. That arena was very loud because you were, down a few games to the Miami Heat. You won Game 5 in a very nice win. So I would definitely say that in my experience, I've been to a couple of Knicks games here and there. A lot of them were loud. Game 5 was by far the loudest I've ever been. Last year, yeah. If they get a massive lead on the Boston Celtics or Jalen Brunson does another step back late, the roof might cave in for Madison Square Garden. Because if you somehow go up 3-0 against the defending champions, there's no doubt in my mind that internally, Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown and maybe even Joe Mazzulla, they'll never say it, but they may wave the white flag and say, you know what? There's already reports out there that even if we win the finals, our roster is going to get blown up. Why not just do it now and figure out earlier rather than later what exactly we're going to do? Because this is a very, very expensive roster that you would expect every single season to at least make the NBA Finals. Now they're in danger of being swept by the New York Knicks, who during the regular season did not win a single game against the number 1 seed in the Western Conference and didn't win any games in the regular season against the top, I guess you would say the top 2 seeds, in the Eastern Conference. And now you're in danger of not winning a single game against that exact same team in the playoffs. So are they in danger? Yes. Do I think they will get swept? No. I expect them to take at least one game away from the New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden. But I'm not expecting it because I'll say it again. I'm going to play the clip again of me saying this. This is what I said last show about the Boston Celtics after Game 1's quote-unquote, crazy random performance. Take a listen.
You think they'll be 25% from 3 the next game?
It wouldn't surprise me, again, if they shoot between 30 and 20% from 3 in one of these upcoming games. It would not surprise me at all. I do think we'll see another game like this. It might be 27%. It may be 30%. But I believe we are going to see another game, and especially from Jayson Tatum. We might see 2 more of these Jayson Tatum games. Who knows? I know. Nate Stradamus at your service. I do predict the Knicks will win this series now. Will it be in 6? Will it be in 5? It will not. I'm saying this right. It will not surprise me if the Knicks go out and gentlemen sweep the Boston Celtics, because the Celtics right now, where's looking up? Right now, you're in an abyss. You're in a chasm, and the only light you see is a minuscule light because of just how badly you're up 20. You're up by 20 points in both of these games. and you killed it in the fourth quarter. This is the same team that blew several leads in this exact same Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown era against the Cavaliers, against the Heat, now against the Knicks. And now you're doing it in the playoffs. Alarms, red lights, flash, blaring.
Okay, well, let's not forget what the Knicks did in the offseason. They went out and they got Mikal Bridges, and they got Anthony Towns. They have OJ Anunoby, and they have a defense that has given the Celtics fits now. And they lock it down in the fourth quarter, and the Celtics haven't got an answer for it. So they've got to figure that out. Will the Knicks sweep the Celtics? I think it's possible, but I agree with you. I think the Celtics will win at least one. They need to win both to have a chance, and if they don't, I think the series is over. I'd be surprised if it was a gentleman's sweep. I think that the Knicks going back to Boston up 3-1. There's enough pride there with the Celtics that they get it to 3-2. And then the Knicks will probably come back and win it. But to think that you're down 0-2 and have to go to Madison Square Garden to win 2 in a row, give me a break. The Knicks fans are some of the best in basketball. They're crazy. We've been to games and the place goes nuts. And even when they're down, they still yell for them and cheer for them. It's the mecca of basketball. It's a tough place to go in and try to take 2 from the Knicks, who are already up 2-0. I think Thibodeau is definitely out-coaching Mazzulla. You say that if the Celtics, it's a gentleman's sweep, they lose, that the team might get blown up. I think
that's not what I'm saying. That's the reporting.
Okay,
Brian Windhorst is saying that this roster's done.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that will happen. Maybe Al Horford will retire. I doubt it. He'll probably want to play. I think that what would really happen there is that will be the end of Mazzulla. They'll get rid of him. And rightfully so. How can he let this happen? And they had a timeout at the end of this last game, right? There's 4 seconds left. Was it 4? There was 4.
With the timeout, I think there was 12 or 13.
12, 13. They didn't take the timeout.
Right.
Why? Why not take the timeout?
Mazzulla was asked that question, and he said that they liked the exact same look they had on the play prior, except the Knicks just played better defense on this go around.
I think they should have taken the timeout and talked it over. I really think so. Thibodeau is definitely out-coaching Mazzulla. The Celtics can't figure out his defense in the fourth quarter. Porzingis being ill is a factor here. I mean, he looks skinny as a rail. I don't know. Maybe the guy's got some weird disease. I don't know. I feel bad for him. He's a good player, and he just had some bad luck in terms of injuries, and now the sickness, and it's really taking an impact on the Celtics. I mean, he averaged 20 points a game in the regular season. But I think overall the biggest factor in this is Tatum, his poor shooting. I mean, it's terrible. What's the story here? This guy is in the top 4 every year in the MVP voting. What's the story here? Why is he shooting so poorly? I don't get it. Also, Jaylen Brown, why do they let him handle the ball so much? He turns the ball over. He has
no left hand.
He's not a great ball handler at all. They should leave the ball, the handling of the ball with White, and pass it to Brown, catch and shoot. I don't think he should be driving, handling the ball. He's turning it over. And when they lost to Miami there in Game 7, when they came back 2 years ago, this is his problem again. He's turning the ball over all the time, handling it too much and dribbling it too much. I think the Knicks getting the balanced scoring with big contributions from Towns, Hart, and Bridges is a big worry for the Celtics. They usually count on it's usually Brunson that's leading the way, banging heads with the people down low, and finding ways to score and dribbling the ball all over the place, using up most of the clock, and not everyone else kind of standing around. That's not what's happening in this series. It's a balanced scoring, and Josh Hart in this last game, 23 points. I mean, he's quite a player. I think they picked him up. Was it 2 years ago? And what a great acquisition for them. I think also the wing defenders, as I mentioned, Anunoby and Bridges, creating big problems for the Celtics. It's Thibodeau's defense I'm really impressed with the Knicks. I thought that they would run out of gas here. I thought it would be Jalen Brunson carrying them, or they lose, and they've shocked me.
I tend to agree with you that the defense, especially late, has come up in very big spots. The part that I'll actually disagree with you on, would you believe that nearly half of all 3-point attempts the Celtics have had in games 1 and 2 have been wide open? So that's not defense. And they've made 25% of their wide open threes.
Oh.
And I planned on doing it, and I may do it for game 3. I was going to do sort of like a Family Feud style. I might do this for game 3. Let me explain real quick. I was going to do a game show. I was gonna put up for the show. I was gonna put up a little picture of what's gonna happen. I would give you an A through E of what would happen, because there were several times where it's like A, he'll drive, B, generate contact, C, pass it, D, 2-point shot, E, miss a wide open 3. And if you just said E for every single one of them, you would have been right. Because there was one Jayson Tatum, I think, I forgot who was guarding in the paint. It might have been Deuce McBride. Jayson Tatum's in the corner late in the game. Wide open 3. Nobody's near him. He completely misses. Jalen Brown has an open lane at the top of the key to drive, generate contact, make a 2-pointer, whatever. Takes a bad rush 3-point shot. That's what the Celtics are. They're 3-pointer. I have the play-by-play. I have every single play-by-play. Look, miss shot, offensive rebound, miss 3, offensive rebound, miss 3. It's just, that's who they are. What Karl-Anthony Towns did was high percentage shots on misses, get the tip in. He's always there. Most of his points have come actually from around the rim on a missed shot, tip in shot.
Mm-hmm.
That's nearly 100% from the floor.
So so you have a good point there. They're missing wide open threes. Why? Why are the Celtics missing so many wide open threes when they were a great 3-point shooting team? What is the cause of it?
I think it's really just getting in their own heads. Once they start missing, and think about it, Rick Pitino said this for college basketball. St. John's was counting their misses. What do you go up, 15 for 60 and you're not counting your misses? Now you're 10 of 40, you're not counting your misses? Everybody's like, how are the Celtics missing 100? They took 100 threes and made 25 of them. They've missed the most shots in the first 2 games, I think, in NBA history. And think about this. They're shooting, in game 2, they shot 24% from mid-range. They shot 76% from around the rim.
Yeah, so you're saying it's a psychological thing.
I think it's 100% psychological because, like you just said, they're one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the NBA. They've won most of their games by just out-shooting you from 3. The whole mindset is 3 is more than 2. Well, the only way that 3 is more than 2 is if you make the 3. Otherwise, it's 0 is less than 2. Because the Knicks are all taking high percentage shots. Most of their shots are high percentage, mid-range, down low, Karl-Anthony Towns tip-in shots. And occasionally you get the crazy 3 by Jalen Brunson or with Mikal Bridges and whatnot, but it's generally high percentage shots the Knicks aren't even shooting that well. Shot 29% from 3. Most games against the Pistons, the Pacers, the Cavs, the Thunder, whoever else, you go through the other 29 or 28 teams in the NBA and the Knicks shoot 29% from 3. What's the likelihood that the Knicks pull out with that win?
They wouldn't.
My guess is pretty damn low.
Yeah.
But against the Boston Celtics right now, they've had back-to-back very poor shooting games.
So you think the Celtics should get some psychiatrists in there to talk to the players before the game?
I think Joe Mazzulla, and this is the exact same thing with Bill Belichick, except they're like 40 years apart from one another. Mazzulla is stuck in his way of doing things. Even when it's not working, it's just, we'll keep shooting it. We'll shoot ourselves out of this slump. Last time I checked, you missed 75 3-pointers in 2 games. You're now down 2-0. Maybe drive more. Just going to put that out. Maybe drive more. Because they took 43 pointers.
Mm-hmm.
They took 33
who's going to drive?
mid-range.
Who's going to drive? It can't be Jalen Brown. He turns the ball over the way he handles the ball.
Jayson Tatum needs to say, everyone regards
That's
me as
what
the
I'm
best
saying.
damn player.
The big factor is Jayson Tatum. He is not living up to his reputation.
Well, I would say Jalen Brown also isn't, because he's supposed to be the 1B. He was the Finals MVP.
You got to use him different in the offense. Catch and shoot. Don't be dribbling around. He turns it over too many times.
Well, sadly, the Celtics have been catch, shoot, and miss. Normally, it is catch and shoot and get back. It's catch, shoot, and miss.
Yeah,
that's the big issue for them.
Well, I'm a Celtics fan, and I'm devastated by this so far. But
they're favored on the road too.
Yeah. They are the
5.5-point favorites.
The Celtics are.
Yeah, look, lower third, 5.5.
I don't see how they can do that with Porzingis being ill. I don't see how they can do that.
Do you think the Celtics are going to lose Game 3? Let's give final predictions. Game 3. Who wins Game 3? 3:30 p.m. game. I'm not sure if the
3:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah. I didn't find the data on
Yeah.
if the Celtics play better on early window games.
I'm picking the Celtics, but I'm not confident of that. I'm not confident of that. It won't be 5 points. They have to win this game. If they are the last year's NBA champions,
right?
How can they lose this next game? If they have any championship pride, they're going to find a way to win this game.
That's a good point. Pride.
Have some pride, guys. You got to step up here. Look at how the Knicks have stepped up. They beat you twice at home.
Yeah.
You got to step up. Have some championship pride. You're the champions from last year. You're one of the best teams in the NBA in the regular season. You swept you had a gentleman's sweep against the Magic. You were overconfident. I mean, you thought it was going to be a cakewalk with the Knicks, and it's not. The Knicks are good. The Knicks have got a great coach. The Knicks have got a great scheme. The Knicks are not relying totally on Jalen Brunson.
That's the big thing.
It's a big thing, right?
Because
come on,
they relied on.
You got to figure it out.
Right.
You can figure it out. You were last year's championship. You got to show some pride. You got to win Game 3.
I think that's the biggest thing because against the Detroit Pistons, Jalen Brunson needed to come up big late in the game because we had 2 duds from Karl-Anthony Towns where he scored 10 points. Mikal Bridges also didn't have very good games. OG Anunoby had poor shooting nights. It was Jalen Brunson dropping 40 points. It was him dropping 33 points that led him to at least win those games. And I'm pretty sure they won them all on the road by, I think, under 5 points or something. Totally.
Yeah, that's why I'm so surprised at this series.
Well, no, this team is built to
balanced.
beat the Celtics, though. That's the thing.
And Jalen Brunson is not, he gets the ball and he uses up 80% of the 24-second clock dribbling around.
Yeah.
And that they're not doing that. And maybe that was their scheme, but the Celtics were expecting the kind of Detroit series, and they would focus on Brunson. That's not what's happening here. Brunson is getting rest during the game. He played 38 minutes the other night. He didn't come into the fourth quarter until 7 minutes left, and it was Bridges that was carrying them. It's as Josh Hart said, we don't really know what we're capable of, and they're showing that they surprised themselves. I'm pretty sure they surprised themselves.
Yeah, because think about it. They're not shooting
Did they think
well.
they were going to win both games in Boston? No way.
No. I think deep down, if you ask anybody there in private off the record, are you going to go into Boston and go up 2-0? Every single person would say,
no
probably
way.
not to no. And think about this. I kind of agree with Josh Hart. They haven't shot well. What happens when they start making their shots?
No. Look out, Celtics.
The Celtics average Game 6 loss when they're down 2-0 in the series.
Yeah.
Game 6 series.
87.5% of the time.
30-5 record. Yeah.
87.5% of the time, the team that goes on the road, wins the first 2 games, and comes home, winds up winning the series.
When it comes to the Celtics and they do that, the opposing teams are 100%. So.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It doesn't look good.
I'm going to take here's the issue.
You know what? Just to look ahead, let's say the Knicks do win this series.
I was actually going to talk about
this. And the Pacers knock off the Cavs, which they're up 2-0, right? I'd say the Knicks got a damn good chance of getting to the final.
And here's where that aspect comes into play. I wouldn't feel good about the Knicks winning the NBA Finals. Because this is a unit to beat the Boston Celtics. This is not a big unit. You go up against the Timberwolves, or you go up against the Oklahoma City Thunder, I wouldn't feel that great.
No, maybe the Thunder. I'm not sure about the Timberwolves.
Timberwolves have great defense, and you have Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle, and you're up against former teammates, Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo.
Yeah, that would be something, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
That would be something.
100%. Hi, everybody. Thank you for watching this clip of the Harvey Hour. If you want to watch the full show, you can by clicking the I in the top right-hand corner right now. If you want to take the show with you on the go, it is available wherever you get your podcast. We go live here on YouTube every single Tuesday and Friday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and the notification bell to get notified whenever we upload a video and whenever we go live.